no, my excuses don't cut it anymore. Like, if I'm going to be the leader that I want to be and bring the team where I want it to be, I have to do things different. I can't do the same thing. It's just going to be the same way. So having those things like your Indeed ad, that's awesome. Getting regular emails out to agents that, the one John talks about this, but just following the system that works. Like, basically, don't ask questions. Don't just, if it works, just do that thing. Being in different rooms, new voices, it really has changed. It's changed everything. And hearing honestly, we never worked leads. We're like, I don't know what any of this is. Working leads and learning how to do that and having follow-up boss. And the whole package has really just changed everything for us.
Welcome to the Reside Platform Podcast. I'm your host today, Suneet Agrawal. And today we have the pleasure of hanging out with Andrea Crouch, who alongside her husband, Brian, co-owns the Crouch Group in Phoenix, Arizona. With 18 years of experience, this is the little bio part. With 18 years of experience, Andrea has built a reputation for dedication to her clients and a strong work ethic, leading her team to become one of the top in the state and just a great crew. How are you doing, Andrea?
I'm very well, thank you. And we're at 19 years now. Just had 19 years. Just saying.
19. Congratulations. Let me ask you, what was your origin story for getting into real estate?
Sure. So we sold our home and did not have a great experience and said it should be better than this. It should not be this way. And I had actually stayed home with the kids for 10 years. And Brian said, you should get your real estate license. Everybody should have the real estate license. And I said, okay. It took me more than one time to pass that test because I'm not a test taker. Turns out it does not affect how well you do in the career.
Yeah, oddly enough. Little do you know that you'll never worry about riparian water rights again.
No, never needed any of that. So jumped in, but just kind of as a hobby, like, we'll just see how this goes. And it was 2006, got very busy very quickly. Brian was actually in commercial property management at the time. And he's like, wait, you get to pick your clients. I really like that. I want to do that. And I'm like, but you get a paycheck like every 2 weeks. It's awesome. And I don't. So anyway, we took that step of faith and we have been working together ever since. And then, the market crashed.
Yes, I know.
So that was a great time. But honestly, it did just lay that foundation of really seeing how to work hard because we were around a lot of people that, realtors that were complaining a lot about the market at that time. And it was like, this is all we know. Keep our blinders on, work hard, take care of our people. And it worked out.
Did you guys have to do you guys deal with a lot of crap in 2008?
Yes, lots of short sales, lots of foreclosures. And I think just helping people at that, the hardest time in their life, right? Like we built in that trust and we had been working organically by referral that whole time. Like that's how we worked.
Awesome.
So we met you.
Well, we could talk about scalability, right? It's like,
yeah.
I think when, just to give people context, Andrea is a Reside team leader, her and her husband. So you weren't running any kind of traffic for any ads at the time.
Zippo. Only for our entire career, only by relationship, people we knew. I'm naturally a relationship person. I'm friendly. I talk to people everywhere I go. So that worked for us, but like you said, it wasn't scalable. So
yeah, it wasn't scalable. And I think this brings up a cool point. So I'm going to belabor it for sake of the conversation. And then we'll go back into the stuff is I think that in my experience, thousands of coaching calls now and having my team, which was started for all the right reasons, I'll say that publicly, I'll admit to that, is that team leaders want to try and segment themselves to, I'm a leads team, or like you were, we work by referral only.
Mm-hmm.
I think both are great.
Mm-hmm.
However, do you just want to be one thing? No. right? I mean, there's some argument to be really good at one thing, but how are you going to scale that, right? Like that would mean that if you were to grow your team, you would need to bring people on and teach them how to work their sphere faster than giving them an opportunity to work on, right? Like, why can't there be both? Why can't there be both? When I first started in real estate, I was told, well, this is, you probably saw me write about it on Facebook before, because I always go to the story, is my team leader said, hey, go pass out business cards. And I was like, what? Right? So I went and bought some leads. Anyhow, so you've had your worked with your husband for, you said 19 years?
Yeah, 19 years.
And you guys still get along.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. We've been married for 30, going on 31, but he always says, I go to work, she's there. I come home, she's there.
That's so funny.
But
I mean,
it just works well for us. It does. Yeah.
yeah, it's because it's really interesting in your origin story. And I think in coaching many husband and wife teams, I've experienced similar stories where you, the mom, stayed home with the children, which is great, right? Like, I think that's the hardest job. My wife does it, and I love it. I wouldn't give that up for anything.
Yeah.
But then once the kids get old enough and there's less kids at the home, then you enter the workforce in real estate for a similar reason, right? How many realtors have you talked to that got into the business because they had a bad experience by?
Yeah. I mean, it is fascinating how frequently that happens.
Yeah.
And then I think when we did get really busy, and it was like we just kept like having that feeling of our business, and it was like we just did what we could manage, right? Like, this is what we can do. But it just never crossed my mind to add anybody else. It was like, I don't know how to do this. And then eventually 2019, it was like, okay, I want a day off. I just want to not always be on. And so we naturally just added one agent. And then I was like, okay, I really like this. I like just teaching them how the right way to do things, because that's my way. And having that structure was great, teaching them like have a calendar, have a schedule, treat it like a job, what a concept, like, those kind of things. But then it was adding another agent. And then it was, we don't know what we're doing. I don't really know how to do this. So stumbling upon our side was game changer for us. It really has been.
I love that. I wasn't asking for that, but thank you. So tell me about the first agent you hired in 2019. Take us back. How did that happen?
Well, funny enough, it was one agent that we got a 2-for-1. So one neighbor in our neighborhood was talking about getting a real estate license. And I'm like, I'd love to chat with you about it. And here's the thing. I was like, she's going to be awesome. She's going to be the greatest. She's going to just kill it. And then she talked to her friend, and her friend, we were hiking one day with everybody, and those two were talking. And the friend, call her Sally, said she was just let go of her job the day before. She's going to get a real estate license with this friend. They're going to go to school together. They both got their license, and I hired both of them. One had a bad day and was like, I have to take a bath. I just have to take a bath because it's a hard job. Take a bath, because she had to negotiate repairs. Like, okay, you're not going to cut it. There's no taking a bath in the middle of the day. So anyway, the other one actually killed it. She did absolutely amazing. So that's kind of how it started. And then we just added another agent. So yeah, that's how it went down.
Yeah, sounds like a familiar story. 2-for-1, and your picker was broken, huh?
Yes, exactly. And since then, I hear that all the time. Like, you can't guess. And I'm like, I thought I could, but no, I can't.
Well, even I'm the one that says that all the time now, and I still double guess myself. It's just natural. Or just in anything. Even if you're the best at picking out fruit, you're going to grab two of the fruit one day and you're going to open up the pretty one and you turn the other side around and say, oh,
yeah.
It still happens, right? Maybe that's a bad analogy. Maybe it's a great one. I don't know.
No, it's good. That is
Okay,
good.
good. Thank you for the
can't
call.
tell.
I'm usually the guy, Andrea, that slaughters the analogies because I just don't get them.
No, that was a good one. That was good.
Okay, good. So since then, you have been growing.
Yes, we have been growing.
What are some strategies that have been effective in growing the team?
I think getting in the right rooms, which is different for us because we were with a different coaching organization that entire time. I always had a business coach, but it was always very by referral, and that was great, but it wasn't scalable. So seeing that gap for us, it was like, I don't need to start from scratch. I don't need to create how to scale a team. I need to be around people who have already done it and been there. So that was really step one, was figuring out what that reside word was on your hat and these shirts, and like seeing these things like, what is that? What is that? Why are you hiding? What is it? So good marketing technique there, because I had to figure it out. But truly just getting in the right rooms and hearing different voices. It was like we just kept hearing the same. And yes, I need to hear the same things over and over, but it was like, I need to hear those strategies and tactics at a different level, and to know, like, no, my excuses don't cut it anymore. Like, if I'm going to be the leader that I want to be and bring the team where I want it to be, I have to do things different. I can't do the same thing. It's just going to be the same way. So having those things like your Indeed ad, that's awesome. Getting regular emails out to agents that, the one John talks about this, but just following the system that works. Like, basically, don't ask questions. Don't just, if it works, just do that thing. Being in different rooms, new voices, it really has changed. It's changed everything. And hearing, like, I mean, honestly, we never worked leads. We're like, I don't know what any of this is. Working leads and learning how to do that, and having follow-up boss. And I mean, the whole package has really just changed everything for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk about team meetings, because number one, actually, this is a two-part question, is because, as I tell you, I love your social media. I think you're absolutely slaying it. And I see your team meetings on there and they look fun. Am I wrong?
No, they are fun. We do have fun.
Why don't you lay out? I want to hear about the team meetings, because I saw one. I think it was just last week. I was like, what are they doing? I went back. I was all, that looks like the greatest meeting. So talk to us about your meetings, and then I'm going to ask you about your social.
Sure. So our team meetings, we're very structured, because that's who I am. Every week we start with successes. We always go around and share whatever wins we've had that week. And then we talk about our core values. Every week it's like, which core value are we going to talk about? We go through our list, one of which is enthusiastic and fun, because it's like, if we're not having fun in this job, what are we doing? So that's where that comes in, is it's like, what are we doing? And then training time, we're always talking about what's going on in the market and what are people's struggles and how can we help that. And we celebrate those closings. So we're celebrating closings, but we're also pulling up the scoreboard of FUB and having that agent leaderboard on the screen, the big screen. And we just talk about that. Like, how's everybody doing? What's holding you back from hitting the numbers that you want to hit? We have a very competitive team, so everybody wants to be on the leaderboard.
Good.
Yeah, so that's really good. And I'll talk about, like, hey, I listened to this call and I heard you say this and that was good. And maybe we can talk about how to say this better, and, things like that. So really just in the weeds with them, truly.
So is the follow-up boss leaderboard up in her office right now?
It's not right now. It's during team meetings. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever thought about leaving it on all the time?
I haven't, because the technology does not cooperate.
Yeah. So let me say this is we figured it out. We figured it out.
Please.
But right now it isn't refreshing in real time. So it's whenever somebody went to that computer and hit the refresh button, when it from. So maybe it's working. I haven't been in the office in a few days. Maybe it's working now, but we had it up at all times. What we did is when I opened my office, I bought 3 desktops as drop-in desks. No one ever used one of them once, so they're still new. So I would say 3 of the worst investments, but my VAs log in overseas and use those for American-based stuff with voice over IPs. So they set that up and just refresh it. So I don't know, it cost me like $200 for that computer. So why don't you tell everyone what the follow-up boss leaderboard is, in case someone's been sleeping under a rock? CRM rock.
Yeah. So it's just showing, like, how many calls they're doing, how many 2-minute conversations, how many emails, how many texts, and how many appointments are set. And I always win, because I always have the most appointments. And I'm still very, very much in production. That was one of the things I learned from Reside, is not getting out. I wanted to get out a lot faster than I should have. So just having that leaderboard up with appointments, calls, texts, and emails, and it just has a different scoring system. So it just shows who's 1, 2, and 3, and everybody wants to be 1, 2, and 3. So it's
That
really
is
cool.
awesome. Yeah. You got to
And
have
the fact that, sorry to interrupt, the fact that you can't hide, like our previous CRM, it was like you go in and input if you made a call. Okay, well, you can lie. This is like you can't hide. Like, did you make your calls? Well, I can't.
except for the appointments. So if you're looking
Yeah.
at overall points, because there will be some agents, and I don't know, I actually don't have a problem with this, but they'll make an appointment in Follow Up Boss, for example, inspections. They'll make an appointment in Follow Up Boss, for example, follow-up calls. Look, I don't care what kind of system you need to make, as long as you do that. So if anyone's listening to this, Andrea no doubt has a rule around appointments for herself to where she gets it. I have a rule that there really is no rule, just don't lie, bro. Right? And maybe if you decide to use some kind of ranking system like Andrea's brought up, like we talk about on this podcast a lot, we both use the Follow Boss leaderboard. Just keep an eye on the appointment section and make sure that you understand. Right? One of my top agents sets an appointment for everything. Her appointment, she only has like 30,000 points. Everyone's all whatever. I'm on, no, not whatever. I know what each one of those is. And look at the calls. She still made more than your ass, so shut up.
Okay. Because we just have only buyer consult and listing appointments.
Okay.
The rest should not be appointments. That's for your own calendar. This is like for, are you actually getting appointments with a client that are new, like that will lead to a contract?
That's probably a better rule. But as I got big, I was like, as long as you can find a way to invite them, you can just not be late. Like, I'm good with that. Right?
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
But don't change what you're doing yet.
Okay.
Okay. Don't change what you're doing. But for everyone listening, this is something that Andrea's probably put out in the last year and a half, right?
Yeah. Just in the last year, because we're coming up on a year.
Yeah. So tell me about social media. How long have you been consistent on social?
Probably 2 to 3 years, I think.
Okay. Every day.
Every day except this week. But yes, every day. Every day posting something, whether it's a story, a post. I mean, I'm just always active on there. And it does seem like if I have like a weekend off and I'm not posting something, when I jump back on, I get more people are noticing. Like, oh, are you okay? What's going on?
Yeah.
So that's good. And I just have fun with it. I mean, I'm not like following my aesthetic, because my daughter's like, your aesthetic is not whatever. I'm like, I don't care.
What does that mean?
Like your grid, like I don't even know. It's supposed to be a certain way. I'm like, no, this is just me, real life. This is how it goes. I don't care.
Do you have any kind of process around it?
I know you're saying what I post is fun, but I really do want to be educational and informative. So trying to always put out content that's helpful to people, like whether it's at a personal level, sometimes it's spiritual level, sometimes it's, real estate, but always just trying to put out like something that's helpful. And the team rule is no politics, no negative, like there's enough of that. We don't need that. So if you feel passionate about that, you can work somewhere else.
Yeah. You can be right or you can be rich, is what I tell people.
Yeah. We don't have a place for that here. So just being genuine. And I think, so that if a client sees it, they know this is who I am for real. Like I'm not somebody different when you meet me in person. And the same thing with a team member. If I'm meeting a team member, you're getting the same person. I'm authentic, I guess.
Yeah. Do you like batch record or batch write, or you just do it on the whim?
Do it on a whim.
Good. It's working for you. That means that it's like become an instinct, just like a super habit that just has to be done.
Yeah. Do you think I should batch it? You always talk about batching it.
I mean, I have short form. I batch everything. Yeah.
I don't.
I have enough short form content for probably 3 years that I haven't put out.
Really? I'm like, I want it to be right now, current, relevant, this minute. This is how, I don't know. That's just how I roll. I don't know. Which is funny because I'm not really that way. I'm very structured, but.
And for writing, like John Shepline, for example, will write every day. I'll write hard once a week.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So I have a bank of like 100 posts. And also, like for me and if people are noticing, I don't know, but I'll post the same video with a different copy forever. I'll post the same picture in a different angle. Like every photo I take 3, and I'll just put the next one with the same post with some words moved around. And I'll do that a lot.
Oh, good to know. It's like a creative outlet for me too. I'm like,
Me too. Yeah.
yeah.
It's a creative outlet. It's like a journal sometimes.
Yeah.
I always think about it like this: is I'm just talking to myself from like 5 years ago, right? Like I'm just talking to myself from like 2 steps ago. I'm like talking to myself from this morning, right?
Yes. And I think like right now I mean, I don't have some massive team like you do. We're like in the messy middle right now, but I think there's so much value in talking about that space because I thought, we're going to have 9 million people by now and I'm going to be number 1, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is there was other work to be done, like hearing different voices and processing those voices and thinking about just all of the information. Are you kidding me that John puts out? Like, I can't even wrap my head around it. It's a lot. And so that's just where we are right now. We're going to get there, but we still.
Well, you're doing all the right stuff, right?
Yeah, I try.
I think a big part of it is showing up, which you guys always do. You guys will come to the events, you will lean in, right? Many people will come to our events, people in Reside or people even in a conference, and will stay reserved and not talk to anybody. Maybe there's some fear of judgment, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are in an environment that you want to be in and you want to get the most out of, and in many cases, you could be paying big money to be in there. It's up to you to get your ass and start talking to people. You sit back on your ass and say that nothing happened. Well, no shit. I mean, you've been sitting back, right? You came in open-minded, completely open-minded. How many things did we tell you to change about your business? Probably
Everything. Yeah. It's a total mindset shift, especially when, you've been doing it the same way for so long and it worked, but it didn't work to scale. So it's like, you need to change all these things. It's so good. And it's so good for learning the leader that I need to be. That isn't where I was at all. It's good.
Good. What are some things that you're excited about that are coming up?
What am I excited about? I think seeing the growth that we know is coming for us, as far as like, I used to have this, I always want to have 10 in escrow. Like that was our thing. I want to have 10 in escrow at all times, 10 in escrow. Everything's better when we got 10 in escrow. And now I'm like, that is the lamest thing ever. Just that, what a ceiling that is. So just to go, no, I want to have 50 in escrow because of the size of our team right now. Like, no, let's do that. Let's hit these bigger numbers that I didn't even think was possible. But when I'm not the only one doing it, it is possible. So I think that's what I'm just excited about. And honestly, being back in production, it does make me excited for the team growth because I'm like, seeing the impact it can have on the team members' families, like that's powerful,
Yes, that's living a fulfilling life, man. Like being able to see people from the work that you've done and inspire them, you said the right word, inspire them to do based on your actions and them changing everything in their lives.
Yeah. And it gets emotional, right? Like talking to them in those one-on-ones, like when you're like, well, tell me why that's important to you. And they get emotional about their kids and, college and things like that. And it was like, that was all we thought about. Like, I just want to be able to put my kids through college and not have debt. That was our goal. Okay, well, we hit that. And then it's like, okay, well, now what do I do? Because they're grown-ups. So just hitting that next level is very cool.
Now it's about that fat legacy.
Yeah, totally.
It's about the fat legacy. And I think also for many people, like with business building, there's some desire for autonomy, right? Ultimately freedom, but legacy is the word.
Yeah, absolutely.
Legacy for your family and legacy for the people that have decided to ride along with you and believe in you.
For sure. Yeah.
What advice do you have to the team leaders who are listening to this episode?
I think make sure that you are in the right rooms, make sure you are listening to the right voices and implementing what you learn and hear about, not just writing the information, like John talks about that, of there is so much information, but implementing like what is actually critical. Having the recruiting calls, inspecting your database, calling with your team, to their database. Those are, I mean, that just right there, that's just powerful. That's such powerful stuff. Leaning into, I mean, if you are with Reside, leaning into this group, there are so many resources here. It's phenomenal. Just having even Curtis, I'm like, I'm not going to say what I asked Curtis about, but I asked Curtis a lot of stuff.
Do you? Good.
Yeah, like
He
he's
really knows
phenomenal.
his stuff. Me too. I asked him all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
I know, he's so good. And Nick with his checklist, I thought I was the queen of checklists, and he's got checklists way that outperform me. So I think just the value of the group and then others in the group. I mean, when I was talking to Rima when we were in, where were we?
Cabo?
That place in Louisiana.
Oh, Baton Rouge?
Baton Rouge, yes.
Or it was Covington, right?
Yes, Covington. Across the giant bridge.
Yeah, that's through the bayou.
Oh my goodness, that was a big bridge.
It's through the whole swamp. It's through the Mississippi. Yes, I got all the history from an Uber driver on that bridge the first time.
Oh my gosh. I do not like bridges. But anyway, talking to Rima, like, okay, she was where I am. So, like, okay, you know, like having that somebody just a little bit ahead of you to go, okay. And she's like, if you don't feel like you're going to burn the ships and quit your job and leave, then you're not doing it right. And I'm like, okay, well, that's where I am. So,
Rima's been around. Yeah, I think I've been here for 5 years now or something crazy. Yeah.
That's what she said. It was, but I think just that group is a powerful group to be connected to. And there's so much value there. Just brainstorming with each other, masterminding. It's just really good.
I appreciate all the nice things you said about this thing that we've done, man. That really means a lot. It wasn't my intention of this, but thank you.
Absolutely. Well, and it's funny how it started with just you guys in your shirts and your hats. I'm like, what is that? What is that Reside?
I have made it a point, and I think that you've noticed, is I will refuse to wear T-shirts at any of our events anymore. Because I was looking one day, I said, I've been wearing a T-shirt for a week, and I'm at an event, and I feel unprofessional.
Well, you got that fancy warrior, whatever that's called.
Everything is always glory. We should run an ad, but yeah.
Oh,
so
like, this is next level, Suneet, with your Reside shirt.
You haven't seen all the best. Okay, maybe we'll see them in Tahoe this year. Okay, so if anybody out there wants to send you a referral or maybe become an agent with you and work closely or just chat, how do they reach out to you, Andrea?
Sure. Instagram, Andrea Crouch, or Facebook, Andrea Crouch. Not Andre Crouch. He died, but Andrea Crouch.
Okay. You guys hit up Andrea. She has so many cool things, and both her and her husband are really cool people. And make sure you send her the referrals you get in Phoenix, Arizona. Guys, I really hope that you got something out of today's episode. A big thank you again, Andrea. I think you did so good. So thank you. And listeners and viewers. I mess that up every time. Listeners and viewers, if you found this episode insightful, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. We have a lot of other great episodes. So scroll back like 10 episodes and find that last one that we did, or the 10th one ago we did, and listen to that, and you'll get more insights on how to grow your team and just crush it in life. Andrea, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Viewers and listeners, we'll see you on the next episode of the Reside Platform Podcast. Later.